Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna make a tier list of countries in world selection. Remember, this is my personal opinion, and you may not agree with me, but yes, let us begin. First, we have Great Britain. They're a pretty solid country. They have a tank destroyer, sea forts, anti-tank rifles, submachine gunners, and the holy fucks. Those are the things I love about Britain, and they're pretty good. The anti-tank tank or the tank destroyer have a pretty good range that can do some good damage on some long range, while the sea fort have is a sea fort, so you build it on water and you can see if the enemy ships are incoming. I would place it on A tier because it have a unique structure that is sea fort, and they're pretty good, and the Holy Fox also have a good anti-air defense. Next up we have India. They have big population, big families, so they have more population and they don't need to build as many homes at the start, and later they can upgrade and build more houses to have even more space than normal or other countries. They also have the wheeled tanks, and they are very good. They're fast and fast shooting, very good. They have soldiers that can build, but they're not as good. And they have some trucks with tigers. I would place them B tier, but they're pretty fun to play with. Next up we have Turkey. I personally don't like them, mainly because they don't have any tanks and or they do, but they don't have like special ability tanks kind of. They can make some units on a boat. They have the artillery tower, which have a pretty good range. But the rest is not so good, and I personally don't like them, but they are pretty good. But I will place them at C tier because I just don't like them. Next up we have Germany. They're a pretty good country with many units and good structures like heavy pillbox and Maus, colossal cannon, big Berthas, Goliath. Very many things you can build and have. And the problem is that they have increased material costs, so they need to pay more wood to build something than other countries, and that puts them a little bit lower in the rank. Nor if that wasn't the case, I would even place them as S tier, but I place them at A tier because of the cost. Next up we have Russia. This is my favorite country, I think, so I may place it a bit too high, but they have the Katyushas, which I love. Huge range, not much damage, but damage at huge area. They do have also T-34s, ES2, Deathstitle, I cannot pronounce it, I'm sorry, and the flamethrower tanks, which are very solid units. The only problem is that they produce some units in some long time, but unless that is a very good country, I like them also. So. Next up we have France. France is not so good country. I would say it's the worst country in the game. It have two heavy tanks that are not that good. They only have two turrets that is not good anti-infantry, and they're at high cost. They're large, so it's easy to hit them, and they're not so good. They also have an aircraft carrier, which is only good at big maps, and they have the Goliath plane, which have only one bomb but does a pretty good damage. But they don't have much anything else, like, yeah. So I'm gonna place them at the D tier. Next up we have China. I'm not that good with China either, but they have pretty good things like foraging supply center and like big families. And also they have, so foraging supply center, they can make units from other countries. They have the mounted guardsmen, which is very annoying, and soldiers which can go suicide mode and just explode. It's good to defend against tanks. Also, they have rice farms, which is very good for food production. The only problem is that they can't make any airfields. So, if they could, I would put them at S tier, but because they cannot make any airfields, I will put them at A tier. Next up, we have Japan, which I personally like to play with. They're pretty fun and pretty fun to play with. They have Fugo Ballons and Sakura Blooms, which are suicide units. You can send them and just deal a lot of damage at low cost. And they also have the Yamato, which is very good at sea domination. Also, light trench mortars are pretty fun, but they don't have much. Like Turkey, they don't have any tanks, like special tanks or anything. But because of the Fugal Ballons and the good problems, I would put them at B tier. And the last country I have is, or not only me, but the world selection is Poland. They're pretty good country because of the stone mines they have. They're the only country that have stone mines. So when they use a stone and they chop it, get stone from it, and it's used, they can place a stone mine. And they are the only country that can do that. They also have the Uhlans, which are people on horses with spears, which later can be upgraded to grenades, so they can go around and throw grenades. They also have the saboteurs, which just go and plant a bomb. Very, very good. Also, they have the amphibious tank, which can go on the water. So, yeah, they're pretty solid country. I would place them A tier. And yes, this was my video about tier listing countries in world selection. Thanks for watching.